Coach, let's talk about, 3 games into the season now. You got a bye week. How would you grade out the offense? Do you like where they stand right now and what you guys are doing?
Well, we're getting better every day, and that's the key. Constant, never-ending improvement. So we just got to focus on details and continue to improve on a daily basis, on a weekly basis.
How important is a bye week like this to the young guys now that they've had 3 weeks to play? Now you get a moment to actually look at what you're doing. How key is that?
It is key. I think, the grind of the season and the school year and everything that goes into competing at this level is new for those guys. And now that they've gotten a taste of it, it's a good opportunity for them to kind of take a step back, take a deep breath, and refocus.
What's the number one thing the offense needs to work on now that you guys have this bye week? Is there something particular you look at and you think this is what we kind of need to focus on?
There's quite a bit. We're always going to talk about playing with great effort, and that's something we always come back to. I think finishing plays, finishing drives, that goes hand in hand. The little techniques that go into ball security and protection and you name it, all of it. So it's something we'll focus on and continue to get better at.
Is the bye week more for fundamentals or more for install?
No, well, a little both. We're definitely focusing on the fundamentals. We're never going to radically change what we're doing, but maybe tweaking some schemes here and there and evaluating ourselves. Doing an in-depth self-scout of our concepts, our past concepts, our run game, and usually that will lead to maybe some plays that broken down because we need to improve this technique or maybe change this alignment or whatever it might be. So it's a little bit of self-evaluation.
One of the nice things for the bye week is you guys get out and do a bit more heavy recruiting this week. How important is that for this team to take this bye week and get out on the recruiting trail a little bit?
Well, recruiting is a 365-day-a-year job, and we're in constant communication with these athletes that we're recruiting. So not a whole lot will change other than the fact that we get to go out and see them play and evaluate them in games and things like that. So that's it's good to reconnect with those guys. But again, we've been in constant communication with our recruits all along the way.
In the 15 games you've coached here at Tennessee, where would you put that Oklahoma defense in comparison to others?
We faced quite a few good defenses, and they were one of them. Again, they were what we thought they were. They were very stout up front, skilled in the back end, with good speed at the second level. So they're an outstanding defense, as I mentioned, going into the game, without very many apparent weaknesses. So they're a good team, and obviously provided a good challenge for us.
Mike, what did you see from Justin dealing with the pressure throughout the game, what he did to handle that?
Well, he got hit too much, and what I liked about his performance was he bounced back and really played with some resiliency. It was a physical, tough performance, and we stress that mental and physical toughness for the quarterback position all the time.
What are some things you can do to help him with the pressure that he's been facing and is likely to face?
Yeah, there's a lot of ways to alleviate that. Some of the sacks, frankly, from the game were also on his shoulders. So there's a lot that goes into protecting the quarterback. So it's just a matter of making sure schematically we're sound and we improve our technique.
Coach, what was the biggest difference in that second half? The offensive front going from rushing for 123 yards. I think there was only one sack in the third and fourth quarter. Just did something click with those guys at halftime? Were you able to talk to them and say, "Here's what's happening"?
Sure, there were some adjustments made, but again, we just got back to playing our style of football. Playing with a physical edge and playing with a strain and mentality that we want to play with. So it's got to be a constant thing from start to finish, though.
When you're starting, Jay Sean Coleman out there, Jalen, even, I guess we don't think of him as much as a freshman, but and you're able to show them film from that second half compared to the first half. How valuable is that this week to say, here's what we can do against a team like Oklahoma?
Well, what we pointed out in evaluation of the game is we can't have critical mistakes at critical points in the game. We always talk to our players about the fact that there's about 4 to 6 plays that will determine the outcome of the game, and you don't know which 4 to 6 plays they are. So you got to play every single one of those snaps like the game depends on it. And unfortunately, even in the second half, we made some critical errors at critical points.
Have you talked to Justin about the pick six and how he responded and where his confidence level is?
Oh yeah, and again, I think part of the the toughness of his performance was the fact that he had a fire in his eye, and I'm not down on the sideline, but the conversation we had on the telephone, he was dialed in. I know the feedback I got from the sideline was he had that look in his eye that obviously he was angry at himself, but he wanted to get back out there and attack.
On that pick six play, what was kind of the thought process behind the play call, and was that 4-down territory for y'all at that time?
No, we were down 27-10, so at that point we probably would have kicked the field goal because we needed the scores anyway. At some point we were going to have to at least kick the field goal to tie. The thought process on the play, is that what you mean? I'm not quite.
Just going 5 wide there in that situation when the running game seemed to kind of be clicking along at that point. Looked like a little change up of the play call in there.
Sure, and yeah, it was a third and 2, 3rd and 3 situation, and down tight on the goal line, where as much as anything the field's constricted, so we want to create some lateral windows by spreading them out across the width of the field.
What stands out about what Jalen Hurd's been able to do from game 1 to 2 and then game 2 to 3?
He's getting stronger and better, and getting a better feel for the tempo and speed of the game.
And then at receiver with Vaughn, obviously he was out, Ethan was out, and Josh Smith dealing with his injury. How does that affect what you're doing at receiver and tight end?
And we're going along business as usual. It won't affect anything from a scheme standpoint. Obviously, guys just need to step up and make plays now.
Is that an opportunity for Vic, for Josh? I mean, and are they ready for that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Our guys, all those guys have gotten reps all along the way, and we anticipate that whoever needs to play will step in and do a good job.
And just from a play caller standpoint, going into that game with all true freshmen on the right side and leaving it after what you saw in that second half, I mean, you have more confidence to
I
dial
do,
up whatever you need to dial up.
and even as I evaluated the video, Coleman Thomas and Ja'Shawn Robertson, they held their own for the most part. And again, we had a system of help built in that as I reevaluated, I thought, man, they did a pretty good job. And it's good to see that Coleman has come along in particular. And I think he'll just continue to get better and better.
Coach, you didn't have any tight ends have a catch in the game against Oklahoma. Did not having Ethan affect the way you called the game at all?
No, I wouldn't say so. At this point, from a personnel standpoint, whether it's the receivers, the running backs, the tight ends, I feel good with everyone that we've been able to put on the field, and would not drastically change my play calling at all based on who's in there. And that's, I'd say, quite a bit different from last season where we had to place guys in the right spots. I feel pretty good with our depth on the perimeter and at the tight end position.
Does the 34 scheme that you prepared for against Oklahoma help you at all to face what Jeremy Pruitt runs at Georgia with his 34 scheme?
Sure. There's a lot of carryover between Oklahoma and several of the opponents that we'll face in the coming weeks. We've turned our attention to Georgia, but as much as anything, we're turning our attention to ourselves this week. Like I said earlier, it's been a big week for focusing on our techniques, on our schemes, and getting better fundamentally. And obviously we're looking at Georgia and we're game planning them. But right now we're definitely paying attention to how we can improve our offense.
Does a bye week that's fairly early in the season, does that help because you have younger guys that don't have that much experience that they can look at the first few weeks to try to get better before you get back to game action?
Yeah, I think having the two where they are is a pretty good combination. I don't know. I don't know if I've ever in a season gotten to a bye week and not said, "Boy, this comes at a good time." It's just from the standpoint of health and a chance to reevaluate things and take a deep breath and focus on the details. It is coming at a good time, particularly for the young guys.
We have two more. I apologize if you've been asked this, Mike, but have you got a chance to look through the tape and see, kind of get a good read of how well Justin played despite the pressure while he was under?
Yeah, he played a tough physical performance. He obviously the two interceptions and the fumble. We can't have the 3 turnovers, but he bounced back and he's resilient. And as much as anything, when a quarterback can stand up and dust himself off and step up and call and play the next play after getting hit or something like that, it shows the rest of the guys that, man, our leader is one tough son of a gun, and he really, not that he needed to prove himself, but I think he just continues on a daily basis to earn the respect of his teammates.
Specifically, he got hit so many times, but he didn't point any fingers last offensive line. What did that say about him as a leader?
Well, he's, we stress whether it's him or our entire offense. We're gonna play for one another, and we're gonna play with great effort. And we understand that when we have success, it's because all 11 hats are on the same page. And if we don't have success, it's because all 11 hats are not on the same page. So it's not always one guy, and it's like I said earlier, there were a couple hits he took that were his own fault. And again, that's just part of the game, and you understand that as a quarterback, and you continue to just drive on and look at the next play.